All right, the time is here. Take advantage. If you're interested in promoting your brand here at Viral Hip Hop News, music, brand, or even yourself, email me, Sam Ant, at dlsmediainc1@gmail.com for more information. Don't wait. Let's go.
There. Before we get to the new developments in the Diddy saga, we want to just, send our condolences and prayers out, man, to the people of Baltimore. We've been over that bridge a lot through our lifetime, and just seeing that and hearing about that, man, made my heart drop this morning. 'Cause it's like, wow, like, and maybe if it was in Seattle, I would have still been worried, but it's just so close to home. We got family in Maryland. We got, it's just crazy to see that happen, man. But what was your thoughts, man, when you first heard and seen that tragedy in Baltimore?
Man, listen, I be up at night, right? So it was about 1 a.m. I'm on Twitter and I see Pray for Baltimore. So I look up and I look at the Francis Scott Key Bridge and I look at this boat hit this bridge and it just collapsed like a deck of cards. And the first thing that came to my mind was, to me, like the way it hit my soul was the same way the towers did. Simply because of exactly what you said. The amount of times we've crossed over back and forth over the bridge, the amount of Washington games we went to, the amount of times we went and seen family over there, the amount of times we've had our family on and off that bridge. It was a nauseating feeling to know that there were cars in that water right now. And 13, 14, 6 seconds prior to that, they thought they were safely getting over the bridge and were moving on with their lives. And then like that, it was gone. All of these emotions would hit me at that time. It hit me crazy, I'm telling you. And I'm telling people around me, like, yo, you see what happened in Baltimore? You see what happened in Baltimore? I'm like, yo, this is crazy. Oh, my God. I'm speechless, bro. I don't. One of my biggest fears, I'll just put it out there, is some shit like that.
Yeah.
Over a bridge in particular. I'm not afraid of heights. I'm not afraid of high things like that. But going over a bridge, I've always had that mysterious kind of weird feeling that, let me get off this motherfucker as soon as possible. So I just, like you said, just pray for the people out there. It's,
like, even people like from going to Jersey to Philly, you know how many times you go over to Ben Franklin, a Wall-Whipping Bridge?
You don't even know, man.
Like, on your lifetime, like, some people do it every day. They commute back and forth to work. And I'm sure that bridge is back and forth from people going back and forth, so, wow, man. It did happen, like, early in the morning. Because, like you were saying, what if this was during rush hour? Oh, man. I don't know how stuff like this happens. Like you were saying, the boat lost power, but it has to be something else. Oh, man, I'm just, like you said, lost for words, man. I wish it didn't happen.
They said 20 cars hit the water. 20 cars. So, I mean.
What?
In retrospect, 20 cars is sickening, too, because those are families and people in there. But 20 compared to 3,000 or 100 or whatever the case may be is a lot more. I also was reading just recently, there are some people still missing. So what happened was,
my God,
when they fall in, all that impact, it takes everything. I mean, you're in a car. You got seatbelts on. Like, you ain't no fucking Navy SEAL. Like, you in that moment, who's thinking? Yeah. So,
people, oh, man. Yeah.
It's bad, man.
Yeah, man.
Bad. It's tragic. It's
hell. Man, I just wish we didn't have to. I wish things like this didn't happen and we didn't have to even, talk about it, even witness it, man. But let's move on to something else that we all witnessed yesterday. That's Diddy's homes being raided, his sons being detained and released. And immediately after we talked about it here on the podcast, there was speculation and rumor that, he was in a jet. People thought he was trying to flee, but we found out that wasn't even the case.
Yeah.
We found out that he didn't have any arrest warrant whatsoever. His travel was not restricted. However, more news broke just a few moments ago about him selling off his final shares of Revolt. He is no longer the owner. He's no longer affiliated with Revolt. Now, that may seem like minuscule news to somebody or non-significant news, but I think it goes deeper, Sam, man. But before I kind of get into what I want to say about, this whole situation, what's your thoughts the day after the smoke has settled a little bit? Diddy's homes being raided and him now selling off his final shares of Revolt.
I'll take the latter and then work in reverse. So I'm looking at a headline here, and it says Diddy reportedly sells all his shares of Revolt to an anonymous owner amid house raid. So when I hear anonymous owner, when I hear anonymous owner, I'm thinking, okay, is he trying to transfer it to somebody maybe he's cool with, the kind of
maybe his sons?
some type
It
of,
could be, right.
you know what I mean, outsourcing of power to where it's not necessarily attached to his name, so people in lawsuits and people in situations can't come and grab it and try to take it themselves. Is that a strategy, or is it in fact a strategy where, okay, this is about to get really, really expensive. I'm losing business deals and net worth. My net worth is dropping left and right. I may need this money to go ahead and fight for my life and my freedom. I'll weigh both out. You know what I'm saying? This is what I initially think of when I see this headline. And then just to kind of, as the smoke is beginning to clear and you see the damage that was done in that house and you see the amount of violation that was done, and I'm not going to get too long with it because I want to hear your thoughts. Matter of fact, I want to hear your thoughts before I go ahead and say what I want to say.
Yeah.
I just think it's let's just keep paying attention, guys. Keep locking in. I know a lot of people have already deemed him guilty before proven innocent. I'm kind of still just watching and continue to watch. That's all I'm going to say right there.
And it's almost like people feel like they're vindicated, like, oh, it's over. And, they're lining up to see the Titanic sinking. And it's like, it ain't. There's just another page in the story because he hasn't been arrested. There's no arrest warrant. He hasn't been thrown in jail or anything like that. It looks bad right now. But for all we know, this could just be formality. But I want to kind of talk about the Revolt thing because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, well, as insignificant as we might think Revolt is, that's a huge feat, a huge accomplishment by Diddy, as well as the liquor things and all that. But remember, I kind of draw parallels to the Bill Cosby situation wanting to buy NBC. In no way am I saying that NBC and Revolt are equal. I'm not saying that.
Right.
But just the power that comes with having your own network. You're able to put your own programming out, your own content. You own a network, and as far as we know, it continued to grow. Revolt, they got a cable deal, and they have podcasts. They got one of the biggest podcasts in the world at one point, Drink Champs, underneath. I'm not sure about their contractual obligations right now, but it was something that was ascending, and Diddy owned it. In my opinion, I just feel like, did Diddy get too powerful? And not too powerful, was he getting too cocky? Like, who did he piss off? What happened? But one day he was on top of the world. To then, all right, he coming at, the Diego Spirits Company talking about racial discrimination. And right after that, boom, everything. The walls come tumbling down.
You think there's a direct correlation to that and what's going on now?
It could be.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, I'm not going to say I know 100% because I don't, but it could be something tied to something like that. I could be reaching, but then again, I could be, on to something like, what's really going on with this situation? Like, I'm just seeing too many powerful men of power, and especially black men, being torn down. I'm seeing the same narrative over and over and over. And like I said, if you go back years, it's always the SEX thing with all these people. It's the same narrative over and over. And why do I think it's that narrative? And I'm going to let you go.
Yeah.
Because that's people going to believe that the easiest. They're going to believe that without any proof or what we see now. There's nothing. Just allegations. What's your thoughts?
Kind of to what you said, right? Let's say they are coming after him for that. And let's say that he did have some dirty skeletons in his closet, right? And this information is coming out because it was knowing information that was just kept hidden for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
If Diddy goes down, and I'm not saying if this information is true, he doesn't deserve to go down, because if he's trafficking children, he does deserve to go down.
Absolutely.
No question.
Agreed.
But I also want to get to the root, because there was a root to this that pulled these strings and let these triggers go off safety, and I would love to know who that was, because they are an accessory to this crime just as much as Diddy is. If you knowingly knew and you kept it secret for the sake of having some type of blackmail or weight over a dude just in case he got out of line, and here you go. He's not the only one. He won't be the last one. And we start talking about rituals and you start talking about conspiracies, it's only going to heighten and further these kind of thoughts, because there's a hierarchy and a power structure in place from what it seems like. And if, in fact, this all is true, why did the strings get pulled? Why did the cards drop now? You know what else I find interesting, oh God, because it always seems like we're defending Diddy. And I realized it always seems like we're defending him. But who else, what other platform, what other publication gives you the other mother effing side? So you hear all these publications and all these things, they throwing out the drug mule, they throwing out his relationship with T.D. Jakes, speculating his homosexuality. And if you ask us straight up, I know if you ask me, do I think Diddy's done some things with some men? Yep, I do.
Right.
Do I think Diddy screwed over some people in music? Yep, I do. Does that make him guilty of sex trafficking or, sex trafficking children? No, it doesn't.
Right.
And we got to be able to decipher all these things. And unfortunately, we are so manipulated and hypnotized by the media that they can throw out any little tidbits and then slide some stuff under. Guilty. Oh, yeah, he screwed over his record label. Oh, yeah, he done FTD Jakes and had all these weird parties. Guilty. Oh, slow your roll now.
Right.
And I don't know, man. It's a lot of
It's
weird
like
stuff
people
going on.
just. I hate to use this narrative, but I ain't gonna put black in this, right?
Yeah.
People love to see they like to see people's misery.
Mm-hmm.
They like to see, even when you talk about the story of Jesus Christ, whether it be true or not, whatever we're just talking about it in that perspective. People were lined up to see this guy get put on the cross. They were cheering, they were happy. People that was with him, they betrayed him.
Yep.
So it was a reason why that story, was birthed. And it's because we're going to see that over and over and over. But I like how you broke it down. Like, it makes you sound like stay out of your emotions with all of this.
Gotcha.
Don't get hyped up about this and this and this because the other shoe has yet to drop on this. Right now, there's been a raid on this crib. They got his electronics. They allegedly arrested some white dude that's a drug mule. Like, what the hell is going on? This shit's like out of a movie now. But he ain't in cuffs yet. They don't want him. He's free to go wherever he want right now. And they can't stop him because there are no charges yet. So could it be that this, and also I wanted to say this, that Diddy's team is saying that this is a witch hunt. They're saying that this is a witch hunt. Like, yeah, guys is, looking for nothing at this point. You're going to find nothing. So what do you think the next step is to this? Do you see this thing kind of just going away, fizzling out? Or do you see federal charges, maybe even a RICO, coming for Diddy?
That's what I'm waiting on right there. If there's formally federal charges, and maybe you could help me answer the timeline in which, because they raided his house, should we expect an arrest warrant immediately? Do they have enough information to go in immediately? If the longer this goes on, if we see a week, 2 weeks go by and Diddy isn't arrested, does that mean they don't have anything? How does that work? To best of your knowledge?
You would think that once they come in, they raid you, they got the warrant to arrest you.
Yeah.
That's most of the time you kind of see that.
Right.
You don't really see, they just coming just to check this shit, and unless they really don't have nothing. But when they have something, they usually coming in with the warrant. Now I could be wrong. I'm no attorney.
Right.
That's just my opinion. Now they gather his electronics, right? So any communication that they have with anybody for whatever time period they can gather, they're going to be privy to that. So we're going to have to just wait and see. I would have thought that I think, the cart before the horse. Like, why didn't they just wait until they really had some concrete things to get? Because it's like, maybe I don't have nothing. Because why the hell y'all going into his crib without an arrest warrant?
Mm-hmm.
What do you really have? You went in there like he was a goddamn terrorist.
Yeah.
Like you was going to find kids locked up in the damn basement for 20 years. You locked up his sons for what? Nobody is being locked. Nobody's in prison right now except this white dude who's an alleged drug mule with Diddy. Like, I don't know, man. The Breakfast Club and other people say they think, it's just bullshit why they going in the crib. I don't know if you've seen that earlier.
Nah, what happened again? I'm sorry.
They were kind of just saying the Breakfast Club, they was kind of, saying like this is all smoke and mirrors or whatever, them going into his crib.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm glad they said that publicly.
Right.
Because you got to look at that angle, and it does look like that. We've seen this before. This is another smear and public perception, seemingly campaign. What about his boys? You've seen them in cuffs yesterday. That image is out there stuck in our brains. Are they still in cuffs, or were they released when they left?
They were released.
Of course.
Yeah.
We didn't see that part, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, in our brain, they still in those cuffs out there, you know what I mean? In they drawers, fucking getting searched on. So, I don't know, man. I just say let's take emotions out of it, and I know the comments are going to get flooded because we've seen it a million times about us defending, getting paid. Y'all say the same boring stuff all the time to ones that can't look at it objectively, don't care to look at it objectively, or just want to talk shit on a dude. So, I don't know. I hope nothing happens to y'all, and we're going to keep continuing just to kind of look at it from our frame, allowing anybody to come on this platform, because here's another thing. We've had Jaguar Wrights on here. We've had Andrew Wyatt's on here. We've had Freddie P's on here. We've had E. Ness's on here. We've had what's my boy R&B singer, Mario Winans.
Yeah.
We've had different varieties
G
of people.
Depps,
G Depps, his wife,
Mark Curry, Gene Deal.
Talk about it, bro.
Everybody.
We've had every spectrum of a Diddy circle, talking good, talking bad about Diddy, and we allow them to speak their truth. And never does that interfere or get in the way of what we think. But anybody that comes on here, we allow them to talk their truth. So a lot of people, oh, you're hypocritical because you let Jaguar Wright come on here and spew. We let her spew her truth, whether we agreed or not. Same with Andrew Wyatt, same with G. Depp, same as Mark Curry, and the list goes on like my cousin just dropped off. So come on, man.
Well, the name is Uncensored for a reason, right? And then before that, remember, we the Uncensored Truth
I love it.
podcast. So it's like, you never get mad at Shade Room or Hollywood Unlocked for them posting up everything. They post up everything up there. See, we're not going to get into the business of censoring. That's why it's uncensored. So we're going to let people come on and speak. We're going to ask you tough questions, but we're going to let the message get out there. I truly believe in that and freedom of the press. Like, you might not like what somebody says, but they still can say it. And if it's on a publication, it still can be put on that publication. Now, if you don't like it, turn it the fuck off.
Word.
Don't watch it. But definitely, man. But let's see what happens, man. We'll be definitely, keeping you guys and girls updated over the next couple of days. Got some powerful interviews lined up over the next couple of days to speak on to this with an even deeper insight than we're ever going to be able to give, because the people that we're bringing on, are very close to the situation and dealt with situations like this with high profile celebrities. So we're going to bring that treat to you, and stay tuned. You never know who you're going to see on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast, man. So.